and this will be another Just to the Max review of Prowler's Passage.
And we're also going to play the game and show you how to set the game up.
So this is a fully set up game that we have, and a few tiles are left out, but you have it in the 3-2-1 pyramid form.
Let's take a look at some of the tiles close up. You'll notice that there's 3 different building types, and they're quite beautifully drawn, I think, and the colors are very clear. And then you also have these spaces where you're going to put these discs that we see here on the board.
That whenever you build one of these there, you get to take into your personal collection, and they do different things.
And you also, if everything has been collected around and you put the last road connecting to one of the statues, you get a statue. The first round will end when either 2 of the 4 statues are taken, or you've placed.
Played all 8.
And I guess, you know, the idea is that you're creating a passageway underneath the city, so it looks like you're kind of digging things out. But the real key to the game is this right here.
Is because whenever you build, let's say I would build there, I would get, since I built next to blue and white, I would get to move blue and white towards me.
When you're putting down your passages, they do not have to be connecting. You are eventually going to connect them, but you could decide to put them down anywhere and in any sequence.
But it would be to your benefit to place them next to each other because you get points for longest road, and in this particular game you have an achievement for the longest road.
Absolutely. But you can kind of sneak up on somebody and go around and around and kind of make a circuitous passage. And the game is modular, I should say, because each of these is rotated. They give you extra tiles, so the game is going to be different. And also these chips go everywhere differently every game.
And one more thing to mention is the chips are double-sided.
The chips are double-sided. Yeah, you don't have to worry about where they land. You just kind of put them out randomly.
So these are also double-sided with Prowler's Passage. Pretty cool.
Very cool and easy to know which way to have it hold up.
Nice cardboard.
Which means that at the scoring phase, anything that is blue and white, which is very easily determined by this card, he would get the blue and white advantage. This card is absolutely essential for all of the scoring. The game scoring sometimes takes as long as the game itself of playing things out. There's also some shovel tokens.
And yeah, so there's 2 different types of shovel tokens. One is the golden shovel, and one is the double shovel.
And each of them give you a different type of advantage. It's a really neat short game. It plays in 2 rounds, and we'll see how things turn out. Oh, and of course, also, there's this race to get to these various objectives.
Because there's steals 2 statues, which will have 2 of those statues in your control, which, by the way, are really nice. Control 4 districts, which is 4 of these in your half, and have the longest passage at mid-game scoring, which is after either 2 statues are stolen or after both players have placed all 8 of their roads.
And let me say, this is not easy to do.
No, it's not.
Getting these 2 statues, controlling districts, which seems easy. It's a back and forth game constantly, so that it's really difficult. Max, would you like to show us the statues? Because it's interesting to see. They're all different.
So you can see how he has an arm up and an arm down.
And this guy
has an arm down and the other arm is missing.
I think it's, or it could be like crossed in front of his chest. You cannot hard to see.
2 arms down.
And the last one?
Or these 2 are the same. Except their head's a little different if you look.
I think, yeah, it might be just a touch. Anyway, it's still very cool.
They're also nice wooden pieces.
Yeah, they're thick. They don't fall down very easily. And the tokens are also really cool.
And then also with the buildings, they're each unique.
Yes, look at this. There's the white building.
It's not straight off the printing press or wood printing press.
Right, they were designed specifically for this game, and they really are very cool looking, and they fit with the theme. You can see that this golden one, which
looks like a bank.
It looks like a bank,
and
exactly.
It is a bank.
Yeah, and exactly, and you're trying to steal from these banks and so forth.
Looks like a cathedral, whatever.
Right. So Max, we'll play the game, and then we'll come back and show our review. So we're at the mid-scoring of the game, and we can see what's going on the tracks here. Max was able to capture one of the objectives, which was controlling 4 districts. And you notice here at the end of the round, he doesn't control 4 districts. You just have to be able to control districts at any one time.
And I think since we're at mid-game scoring, one of us might get this one.
Have the longest passage at mid-game scoring.
Shall we see which one it is? So my passage is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dad's, I believe, is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, mine is 4. So Max gets the card.
Woo, woo.
And you notice that even though I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 connected, it has to be a line.
It has to
so
be
it could have
straight
even
down,
gone
can't
this
branch
way.
off. You have to go the longest.
Yeah, it has to go with the longest road overall. So I needed this over here. There's a lot to think about in this game, what I noticed so far. And these buildings don't reset. So in the second half of the game, this is where we start.
Towards you or away from you.
Yeah, I really like this game. The double shovel has sometimes a negative, or the golden shovel does have a negative if you control the white building.
The cathedral.
The cathedral, which I do. And so it's really nice. You know, it goes totally thematically. You're digging underneath the city.
But
you're making these passages.
Those shovels give you a very good benefit, is because the double shovel, if I would go here, I would get 2 yellow and 2 white.
Even though you're not getting a gem or keys or
here,
gold, whatever.
If you take a golden one, you would take any one not having to be the 2 adjacent ones towards you.
But you also get the ones going.
But you also get
those as well as
if
something
you end
else.
up controlling the white building,
it's a little bit of a negative. So this is what's going on right now at half game. And right now we're about to score.
So we just finished scoring the midpoint. And I'm losing by just a little bit. I have 34 points. And Justin has 39 points.
But not really, because you don't score the bonus cards till the end of the game. And he's got how many? 7 sitting there?
Mm-hmm.
So really he's kind of leading at this point. No one has any statues. The really fascinating thing of the game, if I could just say right now, is that each of the buildings that you control gives you a different type of benefit. For example, if you control the bank, you get 1 point for each gold. So I was going for
Gold.
a lot of this gold stuff. Plus you get just 5 points just as is, or I guess 5
The bank is really
coins
good.
for it. Then this building, the library or the learned center or whatever it's called, you get 1 point for books. But then you get 2 points for each one of the buildings that you control. But here,
No one controls
no
it.
one controls it, so no one gets those points. So it's a completely different way of thinking about it. Then this purple arch building, you get 1 point for jewelry, 1 point for cards. So if you get cards early on in the game, it's going to score twice.
Which is what I did.
Which is what Max did. The same thing for statues. No one scored any statues the first round, but they would score twice. If you can control that building both times. It also scores for how much control that you have. So Max decided to really go for control on that building.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would get 5 points from just that one.
So sometimes I might just think about maybe taking, not that I think I'm going to be able to control this building in the next round.
1 or 2 points
Take a
off
little
of
bit
it.
away. Then this brown, kind of like a civilian house or something, it has keys, so that only scores keys. But then it also gives you more points for roads. So it kind of doubles up on how you're able to do roads here, also here.
If the person has the brown building.
And what you do. The cathedral, now I had to take 1 negative point because I have a shovel. However, the real thing with this, 3 pairs. Now they show this icon. Some of the icons, they're not really distracting or anything. You just have to realize it's not just 3 pairs of keys. It's 3 equal, or
3 pairs of anything.
it's 3 points for pairs of anything. So in this case, I had coins,
and keys.
keys, but this doesn't score for that. So each of them has this really different scoring. We'll come back in a little bit and see how the final score is, yes?
Then we'll do a review.
And then I'll do a
We
review.
just finished the final round of the game.
And you notice that 1 token remains. There's not enough for every passage, at least
Which
one.
would have scored both statues.
Now, I'll tell you why I didn't take it. I had the last chance because I was the last player. If I take this, I'm going to get minus points. Now, I would have gotten the 2 statues
And also this.
and also the bonus card, but the statues only would really score for me if I had the pink house, which Max does. So I went with...
There's also 1 point at the end of the game.
well, I decided to go with another blue because blue for me, since I have...
Since now you have a pair of blue.
now I have 3 blue. Whatever.
We'll score it.
We'll score it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we just finished scoring the final round. And as you can see here, I got 103 points. And Justin got 99. So
I got close.
just a little bit.
What's interesting is that, if you notice, we both maintained control of the same buildings from first round to second round.
Except blue.
Except blue,
No
Max
one
got
controlled
control
that,
of
but
blue.
I got it by 1 in
Exactly.
the second round.
And so I'm not sure. Maybe if the buildings would reset or something, maybe that would make them more in play for a second round.
As you can also see, how those 2 are very different.
Yeah, because you keep on collecting things for the second round as opposed
Which is,
to the
I
first
think,
round.
why they don't reset. to make the second round giving you more points.
Yes, and I suppose whatever your original strategy is, just kind of has to.
Strategy.
It has to
You
keep
can't
on
really
going.
change it.
It's a really neat game. I find that it goes quickly. The scoring, once you figure out exactly what you need to do, I still need the score reference, even though I've played this about 6 or 7 times now. I still enjoy it.
It's an easy thing to just go through.
Yeah, it's just like a checklist.
Player
And
aid.
player aid. And the scorecard that they give you is essential. There's a million pages here, so who knows? Maybe we'll play it so many times that we'll need more.
Also, it comes with a pencil.
It comes with a pencil, which is absolutely necessary.
Nice pencil. It's not a bad pencil either.
What are you going to rate this game, Max?
I will rate it.
I'm right. You're at an 8. I'm at an 8.5 or a 9. I think there's so much to think
you're
about in this
8.5
little
and 9?
package. You know,
I can go 8.5.
it comes together so nicely. It gets to the board easily. You can take it apart easily. It looks beautiful.
It's very clear.
It's clear. I originally wasn't crazy about the
If
art.
you super zoom in, you can see how there's an outline of a circle where the token goes.
Right, you always know where the tokens go, and that comes out random.
And then the art is definitely beautiful.
Yeah, at first I thought it was a little too, I don't know, detailed for the size,
But as long as you just get the general color of
yeah,
it.
you get the color of it, and really when you look at it closely, it is quite gorgeous. Stunning.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting to put the game away now, and I'm thinking about it more, and I'm liking it even more. I'm actually at a 9 with the game. You know why? The balance between the factions or the buildings that you're getting after. Even though I had only control of 2 buildings throughout, it allowed me to go through something. Even with not getting the bonus cards, and even though you had a lot more with that, the scoring for each of the various buildings makes it very even. This parity is rarely seen in a 2-player game of such nature. What are your final thoughts?
Because, no matter what building you do, as long as you have the right stuff for the building, you will get 9 or 10 points.
Yeah, and it really does squeak out. The final score of our game was 103 to 99, and me and Mom have played the game a bunch of times too, and it's always been really close. There's no runaway leader, and this game could have gone either way at any point. Each decision that you make, which is literally just putting down one passage and taking the little disc, and then moving the control of the various buildings. That's all you do on a turn. Very simple.
But then it's so tight that at the final move, if you would, because there's 2 options.
I had 2 options at the
Because
end.
there's always one disc left, and if he would have done the other one, he would have won.